Hey there, Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. Welcome to day 328 of our Be a Better You annual challenge, which is also simultaneously day 24 of our No Nonsense November challenge. Today we are talking about authenticity. And I didn't realize it, but this is actually one of my favorite subjects. The importance of just showing up and being who you really are. I learned this through a very long career in corporate America by not being really who I was, not being picking businesses that weren't really in alignment or didn't line up with me and my core values, the first couple. And my last job in corporate America, I had it dialed in. I knew who I was. I knew what I stood for. I knew what goals and what action items and what yes and no was for me because of my core values. And I made sure that they matched the organizations I was looking at. And I had the most fun 5 years of my life there. It was my best corporate job. Yet I was delighted to leave it and do my own thing after that. And for 35 years simultaneously while working in corporate America, I was running my own businesses. One was an Italian food manufacturing business, which is a really fun business. Really fun. I love the food business. I love manufacturing. So it was right up my alley. So today, I started doing my videos, but my granddaughter's sick, the littlest granddaughter, and she would not have anyone but me today, which is very flattering, but it meant I just shut it down in the middle of the video and walked away. And I'm like, okay, I'll come back and do this later. So here I am, and we're talking about being ourselves, our authentic selves. Why? Because everybody else is taken, right? And if we are trying to copy and mimic, and I say we should model people and the behaviors that they have and the values that they have that we want to identify with and have in our own life so that we make them our own. But we don't want to be a copy of anybody else. Nobody wants to be, you see these people getting all this surgery to look like Barbie. Really? You're never going to be Barbie. And why would you want to? Why would you not just want to be yourself? So it's a topic for me that's very near and dear to my heart. Literally, after my sudden cardiac arrest, the one impression I remember waking up with after the coma was be you. Just be yourself. Stop pretending to be in this perfect life, which I was not in the perfect life, and just be who you really want to be and be who you are. And ever since then, that's what I've done. And it was not an easy road. I'd be lying if I said it was easy. But once you do it, you realize that that's the only way to be. So today I'm going to quickly share our card and our Dr. Wayne Dyer thing because I keep forgetting to do it. And then we'll dive a little deeper into authenticity and I'll show your action. Our action, not yours. I'm doing it too. Our action item today. Today it says causing pain for others would attract pain to you. This is a huge reminder that whatever we put into the world is what comes back to us. So if we are thinking revengeful, mean, evil, pain causing things on other people, anybody, like the people with TDS are in big trouble because guess what? All of the hate they're spewing at President Trump, it isn't hurting him, but it's definitely coming back to them and hurting them in ways that they cannot even imagine or will not even admit. They'll just blame it on President Trump. And I use that as an example, not to be political, but just to say it is a huge example of how we get what we don't want if we focus on what we don't want. It's why the war on anything doesn't work. Look what's happened with the war on drugs. Drugs are way worse than they were when they started the war on drugs. The war on anything ends up being that way because we're giving more negative energy to the thing we don't want than we are positive energy to the thing that we do want. And then our saying from Dr. Dyer today is, be grateful to all those people who told you no. It's because of them that you managed to do it all yourself and figure it out, right? I always say, it's when people say no, it's because they're not the right person to help me or be doing something with me. And no doesn't, it's like with me, no does not mean no forever. It just means no right now, that is not a priority for me and I cannot fit it into my schedule. Don't take it personally, but your priorities of selling me something are not my priorities of buying something. Sometimes they are, sometimes they'll line up, but for the vast majority of the time, no. The answer is no. I don't have the bandwidth for that. It's not a priority. I protect my time and I'm not going to do it. So today, I think we talked about everybody else is taken, be you. And my motto since my sudden cardiac arrest has been be loving, love being, be you. And it's still my motto because if we can learn one thing in this life and demonstrate it, I think that all of our purposes to just be the best possible version of ourselves. That's why we're doing the Be a Better You annual challenge this year, because we know that the only person we can actually control and change and become a better version of is ourselves. And so that's what we're doing. So action item today, I would like you to think of one thing and one area of your life where you're not showing up and being who you really are. And we all have them, right? I would not get on video, and I have before, if I'm out exercising or something, in the bathtub with my rollers, without doing my hair and makeup. Now, for somebody like me, you can tell I'm legally blind, and so my makeup is usually horrible, but I think it's better than my real face without makeup. So I'm going to do it. That is authentically me. I'm going to show up in my makeup. But are there other things that I would do and could do? I would love it if I had somebody that would come and do my makeup for me. That would be amazing. It wouldn't be as colorful, but it would be as amazing. All right, so that's what we got today. If I could, so mine is, I probably am more authentic without my makeup, but I'm still going to show up in my makeup because that is a conscious choice. But share one area where you know you're not being authentic. I can see, you can see, we can sense, we can feel when people aren't being who they really are. If you see one of these over dramatized videos or something on the internet, guess what? Is that authentically who these people are? Are they really showing us that they have mental illness? I hope not. I hope that people aren't that way, but you never know. All right, so that's our assignment for today. If I can help you in any way, ask. Otherwise, have an awesome day, and I'll, of course, be with you tomorrow. Bye. Oh, I guess we're still live.